Hello, everyone. I'm Leslie Cornwell. I'm the founder of Empowering Midwifery Education. I've been asked by a lot of people, what is Empowering Midwifery Education? What are the resources we offer? It's a little overwhelming with 65 amazing courses, 10 instructors, in-person conferences, online trainings, all the resources that are available. So I decided to make this real-time screenshot recording of all the things available with Empowering Midwifery Education. So if you go to the website, empoweringmidwiferyeducation.com, this is what you're going to see. You're going to see our homepage with our mission, our vision, what our goals are. We really want to expand access to high quality midwifery trainings in particularly areas that aren't being expanded on well yet. Not the core competencies that many midwives are very, very good at, but advanced trainings, gaps in training. So business, ultrasound, niche businesses, services, GYN aspects, women's health clinics. There's a lot of things that midwives just aren't expanded on or keeping up with on our angle versus taking a nursing education, taking an AMA, a medical board continuing education, taking a training for another specialty because there isn't anything in our field for that certification process. So we're definitely here to help fill up the gaps with midwives. We love feedback. We love resource suggestions. We definitely want to expand where you're feeling the needs are most at. So if you go to the first tab, there's conferences. We have in-person, online. Currently, we're working on the fall and the spring for 2024 with the scheduling events, doing some business training, some hands-on events. Right now, Midwifery Wisdom Collectives is doing an amazing skills and drills and conference in November 2023 in Colorado that I highly recommend people to go to. I've been a mentor at their conference, and it's a great resource. So try to replicate and getting more of those available and known. The online courses are our big strength. We have a lot of different areas for them. We have the $39.99 deals, which are more introductory courses. They're 1 to 4 hour courses. They really just give you a high level teaser of some of these deep topics. Many of our courses, when you go into clinical business, and then specifically for birth center, home birth, women's health clinics, are more, they range from 10 hours to 35 hours. So these courses that are for $4.99, $3.99, $2.99, you're getting such insane value. You get toolkits, you get policies, you get procedures, you get templates, you get not just the training, but our goal is to give you as much as possible to implement this into your practice. Consents, agreements. Anytime we're doing a clinical training, I always add an angle of the business implementation side. So with our Ultrasound for Midwives course, which is our most popular one, we talk about billing for insurance and business implementation and policies and procedures, not just how to do midwifery scope of practice with point of care testing. So Carolyn's Ultrasound for Midwife course is an excellent one. The midwifery core competency was more made for a refresher for midwives or for students that want kind of a Cliff Note version of the high level services that midwives can offer. We have a lot of partnerships. So the Institute of Pelvic Health, Gyne Zone, there's a few others, Ultrasound for Midwives, that we partner with to promote their wonderful services. So if you want some pelvic health competency certifications, really hone in your skills on a pelvic exam, they're an excellent resource for that. Managing emergencies, Jill Chassé does some amazing courses with competency, culture, infectious disease. Renisha Smith does some amazing stuff with primary care. I do the business, the professional development, tax, legal. That's my strength for midwifery practices. Carolyn does Ultrasound for Midwives, and we have a few other amazing instructors that have just joined our team. Jennifer Schell just made her first course for homeopathies, alternative therapies. Her first one's essential oil. So we're really excited about getting a wide range of trainings and education out there for midwives. Gyne Zone has some amazing resources out there, so we like to promote them. The newborn care course was made to help particularly nurse midwives to fill in the gap of being able to go back to community-based practice because they're not getting a lot of the newborn care skills in the clinical or while they're practicing in the hospital setting. I love sending people to Home Birth Academy and having them take the newborn care course so that they can really know extensively how to take care of newborn that first month of life in the community setting independently. The COVID care tips is a popular one for specifically what do midwives and moms and babies, they have to know up-to-date standards. It's not as popular now, obviously, because we're not into the peak of the COVID, but it's still knowing the the challenges, the complications that have came from COVID is still really important and relevant to us now. Our birth assistant training is really, really popular. There's a few other companies doing birth assistant training, but I think our unique angle is it's made by midwives, very specific, turnkey. You can do some hands-on training and know confidently that they've got the skills, the drills, the very specific needs that your birth assistant has to be able to support you. Our EMS course is great for EMS providers in the area when midwives and EMS want to collaborate and improve skills and drills. EMS providers do not get much for CEU training and education around moms and babies, whether it's in school. There's no mandatory CEUs. I couldn't really find much for good. The training they're getting is really outdated and backwards in EMS. And so we want to improve outcomes for transports and collaboration in our community. We really need to up our standards of education for your EMS providers. So this one, and for midwives particular, have any EMS providers in your area take this course. And we do bulk discounts if there's schools, if there's larger scale organizations want support with that. Jill Chessie has a lot of mental health ones with burnout and serving your clients, serving yourself, serving your staff. It's phenomenal educational resources around mental health, especially nowadays. Jennifer Shell did our essential oils course. Jill did our international midwifery course. I'm in the middle of working on a locum midwifery course to help CPMs and CNMs get travel assignments, temp jobs, help fill in the needs across the country. There's also a pain management course coming out, and there's a few other ones we've been working on. A water birth to kind of complement what Water Birth International is doing, but more focus for midwives and the clinical care standards. Exercise in the perinatal period is a wonderful one from Tanya Tringali had done with us. She's a nurse midwife that has an extensive background in nutrition and exercise and does some consulting work to help with midwives and pregnant women all over the country. The Zika virus infection management, there's quite a few courses coming out that have to do with infectious disease that Jill's very passionate about. Contraception counseling is more for the CPMs that need a little bit of help with options and getting them to the right places at that 6-week postpartum visit. So those are our clinical ones. I'm very passionate about our business aspect, our business training. I'm the one that does those directly. I started midwifery business consultation a few years earlier, 2017, and then we opened Empowering Midwifery Education in 2021 with COVID and the barriers of being able to really go to conferences and get good quality continuing education options for midwives. So we have a lot of courses. My favorite one is the tips for running a successful midwifery practice. I think every midwife and small business owners should take this course. It doesn't matter what type of practice you're running. And even if you're running a birth center, I put in our proposals and packages for consulting services to get the birth center and the midwife's tips for running a successful practice because they overlap each other. This one's very specific to how to run a birth center, the business planning, the market analysis, fee schedule, services, staffing, getting a collaborating physician, CABC accreditation, the list goes on. And then this one for running a business more is insurances, business entities, tax, legal, how to create risk reduction in a business in general, asset protection, time management, how to be a successful business owner, how to create value, how to create a service line. This is more of a general course that any small business owner should be taking. Our other popular ones are the home birth practice, specifically to call schedule and how do you determine your service radius, how do you determine how much to charge, how to be successful, how to get good boundaries with being on call and backups and support for your clients, and really preventing that burnout the best that we can. This one's a popular one, the Women's Health Clinic for nurse midwives. There's a lot of nurse midwives that are frustrated with the healthcare system and wanting to open a private practice but don't want to be on call for labor needs. And so the Women's Health Clinic is a very popular one with nurse practitioners and nurse midwives that want to open their own practice. And it's a definite need to fill. There's just disparities all over the country with lack of healthcare providers in OB and GYN services in particular. The midwife marketing course is an excellent one, specific to midwives, different ways we can market based on our budgets, based on our clientele, really every strategy that is specific to midwifery services, social media, brochures, flyers, SEO, ranking, networking, making a strong website. We really dive deep into it. You have lifetime access to everything. So I always stress to people, like, it may seem overwhelming, but you can take it at your own pace. You can look at what you want. As long as there's no continuing education credits with it, there's no mandatory in order. So if you're like, well, I want to learn about marketing for starting my website, just go to that part and learn about the different sections of the courses as you're diving into those marketing campaigns and your needs. So don't get overwhelmed by how extensive the courses are. The whole point is I wanted to give you everything at your fingertips so then you can go at your own pace and you can reference this later, having that lifetime access. I get a lot of people asking me, how do you make online courses? How do you make online businesses? How do you get education and consulting work? And so I want more midwife educators. I want more midwife businesses out there in any shape and capacity. So I don't hide the business strategies. I teach you how to do a successful course that fits your training needs of what you're looking for. For the legal defense side, this one, it's similar to what Augustine Colbert has with Midwifery Wisdom Collective. Hers is more of an international basis. My legal defense course complements hers, and it's very specific to the US and the legal system in the United States and how to reduce your risk, how do you defend yourself, how to talk to clients, how to document, how to do every angle for protecting your license, protecting your practice, and giving great quality care. Our billing and coding course is really popular. If there's any midwife that wants to bill themselves or train someone on their team, I highly recommend this course. We dive into in-network, out-of-network insurance process. It's baby steps. We talk about the basics. What's an ICD-10 code? What's a place of service code? What's the diagnosis? What's the service? What's the CPT code? The procedure? We dive deep so then if you already know certain parts, you can just skip those sections. So the whole point is we want to not make any assumptions, no matter where your education level is, especially the billing and coding course. I'm assuming most midwives are starting from nothing, from the basics. So we teach you billing terminology, we teach you the insurance, we teach you how to contract, we teach you how to get paid from your clients and the different ways you can get paid. So it's a really valuable course for midwives. I haven't seen anything. Our whole point is to be as comprehensive as possible. There are a few other billing and coding courses out there, but this one's like 35 hours, and it's definitely the most in-depth specific to midwives. Tips for writing a business plan. We get asked a lot with consulting services on how do you write your business plan? How do you make an executive summary? How do you do a market analysis? Figure out your service, figure out your team, figure out your budgets, figure out your fee schedule, marketing. Do I need to buy a building? Do I need to lease? Do I need to just work from my home office and drive around? It really gets overwhelming to people starting a business, or a lot of midwives will just start diving in and make the mistakes and the problems. Versus if you make a business plan on paper, you can make your mistakes and you can accelerate your success greatly. Especially if you're trying to get funding. That one's a huge one I stress to people. You need for a bank, you need for an investor, you need for SBA funding, a business plan. And so we have tools and templates in our shop page I'm going to show you that are valuable for this business planning course. And then the other one's quality assurance. This one is really to take midwife practices to the next level of quality standards, things you probably don't even think about. It's not just about clinical quality standards. It's about quality standards within every step, your inventory, your patient intake, your staffing, hiring staff, firing staff, the longevity of the culture of your workspace and the midwife relationship with her clients. And we do go into the safety and the clinical stuff that most people think of, but this is a really in-depth quality course about every aspect of reducing the risk and improving your outcomes and the sustainability of your practice long term. The birth keeping tips is an awesome one. Amanda Wiley is a phenomenal birth bookkeeper that runs Abundant Life Bookkeeping. I refer people to her often. She's a phenomenal resource that we tip the government too often. And so the bookkeeping tips, it helps you categorize things accurately. It will help with your accountant. Like, I strongly encourage, if you want to do bookkeeping on your own, that you take this course. Creating an accurate fee schedule for midwives. We go into budgets. We go into hand holding every step of how do you know how many clients you're taking, what services you're offering, what's your overhead, what's the competition charging, what can you charge if you're in network, and what you're going to get reimbursed. So you want to make sure you're making accurate fee schedules, because this is what becomes really challenging to midwifery practices. Their money and their budgets and their projections and what they're charging doesn't add up to what they're actually having to pay for overhead costs. So definitely a really important course. And then we break down smaller sections, things that people ask commonly about: financial planning, business education, marketing basics, key things for marketing. We try to break up these really comprehensive courses. And then we have our sections with the birth center, home birth, women's health clinic, hiring staff, specific marketing campaigns, specific business strategies for those subset categories. We have a lot of resources we recommend and we talk about. So I always found it hard to navigate and search what is good, what's credible, what's out there. So Birth Center Academy is great if you're trying to start a birth center, along with AABC and CABC. Midwifing the Midwife is a great online comprehensive resource center. I highly recommend you check that out. Midwife Marketing Made Simple opened a few months ago. Darren Dawkins is a phenomenal marketer that's expanding his resources and services to midwives, and I've been helping him to get that wonderful company going. Midwifery Business Consultation helps with any midwife that's wanting to get a great job, they want to start a practice, they want to improve a practice, they want to hire, they want to improve systems, like whatever you're having trouble with, burnout, want to make more money, want to grow from solo to a team, we can help you with all those things. We now have seven consultants on our team. So there's definitely a lot of specialties: for-profit, nonprofit, birth center, women's health clinic, home birth, international, you name it, we got it. And then Ultrasound for Midwives, Carolyn Gager has an awesome resource. It's literally the international best. If you need any training for ultrasounds for midwives, nurse practitioners, and OB/GYN services, she has a team of 7 different instructors that go across the country, plus herself, to do training. So definitely check her out. Augustine Colbrook is one of my good friends. She runs Midwifery Wisdom Collective. It's an excellent resource for international and US based midwifery support. She tends to do a little more clinical support and advocacy than I do. I tend to be more business administration support. So we do some really cool projects together. GynZone is an excellent resource if you want some online, in-person training and resources available for suturing and perinatal education. They're excellent with that. Hegenberger Speculum with Maylene Hegenberger. I'm so excited that they finally got FDA approval. We've been waiting for that for a while in the US. So it's going to transform how we do repairs, second degrees, and transfers that are unnecessary because we can't see well. Like, I am just beyond excited of what her invention is going to do for the world of midwifery. Pelvic Health Institute is a newer affiliation in the last few months. They've got some amazing certifications with pelvic exams and pelvic health specific nuances. We just don't even realize the impact of what a pelvic health exam can do for our clients. Ann Conkley is an awesome nurse midwife that left corporate America and started a few years ago a coaching and developmental service line. She's phenomenal for nurse midwives, nurse practitioners, CPMs that are wanting a coach, a professional development coach. And then Journey to Midwifery, I highly recommend people listen to it. It's a lot of midwives telling their stories, very inspirational. Amber is taking a little break on recordings, but she should start up soon again. So I'm really excited to get some new midwives and their stories on there because we need to inspire each other. So these are those definite resources I talk about. I send people to. A lot of our instructors do one-on-one coaching. So if you want any one-on-one coaching about different aspects, you can click here. We have specific CEU requirements for nurses, CPMs, CNMs, LMs, direct entry midwives, and certified midwives. We have some great blog posts teaching you about just educational requirements, things to think about, angles of new education that's coming out there. We talk about all of our different instructors on our team. If you want to get a hold of us, I'm the one that directly answers the emails, and I'd love some feedback, suggestions, improvements, recommendations people would love, or even we do customized trainings if you want us to do for a local state alliance, a webinar, or anything like that. Definitely reach out. The shop page, I'm really excited about all the resources on here. I want to spend a little time talking about what they all include. We have childbirth education guide. So if someone wants to do some childbirth education, it's a turnkey document you can customize to your own area for starting a childbirth class. We have educational suturing pads. They're so cool. They're great for students. They're great for your clients. I'll click on it to actually show you because I just love these things we mail out. So you get actually the muscle, the anatomy, and you actually get to see. So if there's a tear, you can show your clients, you can show your student, like when you did a repair, what muscles it went into, and really get actively involved in supporting your families with the education of that healing process, because we don't do as good of a job as they do in Europe with our perineal postpartum recovery support. We have practice agreements and consents. So this is an excellent resource for anyone. As soon as you purchase, it's downloadable. They're Word documents, they're Excel spreadsheets. You get to customize them to your needs. Their fee schedules, their consents, they're all those things you need for moms and babies, and GYN procedures to be a midwife, sample financial agreements. I mean, the value of this alone, if you go to a lawyer and you need to customize some of these financial agreements and templates, it's going to cost you a few $100s. And so this is a value bundle packet. We have 29 very key critical administration agreements. So our whole point with Empowering Midwifery Education, anything that I'm creating, is I want midwives to have all these tools and resources that make them successful, that they're turnkey, they're available, they're going to accelerate your time of planning. Educational handouts. This is a great one. We have 60 educational handouts as soon as you purchase. It says 55, but it is up to 60 now. So you get everything you can possibly think of. I'm going to actually pull up so you guys can see. When we talk to potential clients or people have more questions, these are all the things that are included in those educational handouts. So the benefits of midwifery, informed consent, VBAC, prenatal flow, common educational topics, so fetal kick counts, understanding insurance, nutritional intakes, what to watch for, dental care, chiropractic care, medications that are safe during pregnancy, essential oils. There's just so many things we talk in. We also have two categories. There's educational handouts for home birth center, and then there's educational handouts for women's health clinics. So you just have to let us know which one. I believe the one in the shop is more for what most midwives are asking for, the OB side. If you want the GYN side, just reach out to us and you can get all those. So it's more generic, but if you want both, just let us know too. It's more primary care things and gynecological services. So this is definitely a very powerful resource that people love to use. Turnkey educational handouts that have pictures that are easy to use, midwife angle for your clients. Then there's other aspects of our services. We have sample business plans. It takes 90% of your work out, especially if you're putting it to a bank, an investor, someone that's very professional. You have all the benefits, we have all the tools and templates, you have the budgets, the projections, the sample community analysis. You have a 40-some page business plan that really dives deep into home birth center, women's health clinic. And so you don't need to, you can save yourself making a business plan for 6-8 weeks and just purchase this one, and then it has all your tools and templates you have to customize to your local area. So it'll save you a lot of time. It's very high caliber. I know lots and lots of people that have gotten funding from using these business plans. We have policies. We have really comprehensive packages that include everything as a bundled discounted rate, but there's also smaller ones if you just want the administration policies, you just want the clinical policies. It definitely breaks into hiring staff, billing, quality. We have stuff with birth centers and facility and staff training and a lot of HR things. So there's 90 policies and resources and procedures you're getting in this. So if you really broke down, each one would take you a couple hours to make, and then you add up 100, 200 policies, it really saves you a lot of time. So we really wanted to put together, if this one is a popular one for independent contractors and employee templates, hiring agreements. If you're getting a medical director, if you're a birth center, we've got contracts, we've got trainings, we've got very specific things for hiring your first medical director, and then hiring your different staff. We have stuff for hiring midwives, receptionists, office managers, lactation consultants, nurses. There's just so many things out there. When you do the training manuals, it's an extensive, it gives you the hiring paperwork that you legally have to do with being a W-2 employee, the job description, the posting, staff manual, benefits, HR policies. So we really try to give you turnkey, so many things. You're getting over 30 hiring resources to hire your first office manager. So there is insane value in these products and resources. It's just a matter of midwives determining what do they have, what do they need, how can I help you fill in those gaps. So the whole point is to take the midwife and give you education in clinical and business resources that you definitely it's hard when there's so much out there of which one is best for you. So at Empowering Midwifery Education, there's so much available. We want to empower midwives. We're midwifing the midwives with your clinic, with your business, with your life. Maybe you want to start a niche business. Maybe you want to learn how to suture to the next level. You want to do some skills and drills, keep your NRP up, keep shoulder dystocia, breech without borders. Like, we have so many amazing resources out there for midwives to take their practice, their home practice services to the next level so that your community can get higher outcomes. There's some great, Carolina Birth Junkies has some amazing things with preceptor student relationships, that mentor relationship, and making it successful. So we work closely with so many other amazing resources out there. So if you want any customized packages, you want some courses, you want some resources, we do some bundled things for people. I want you to be successful. So definitely reach out to us at Empowering Midwifery Education. Go to the Contact Us section. You could email us directly, empoweringmidwiferyeducation@gmail.com, info@empoweringmidwiferyeducation.com. There's so many ways to just reach out, and I'd love to help you.